Dr. Pickens. So we're talking about email today, and no, email is not dead. It's not dead. Don't think that old school email can't do amazing things for your business. In fact, it's still one of the most important marketing tools you have, and I want to help you take real advantage. Get real results. Take your email to the next level. So today, I'm going to be sharing with you some top email strategies that's going to help not only increase your open rate, right? But also drive conversions, drive sales to your aesthetic business. Now, before you go and discount email, and say, oh, it's dead and gone. We don't need any email. No one opens it. No one reads it. I want you to think about this very important thing. So email is one of the only channels that really gives you a direct line, direct access to not only your patients, but leads on an individual basis. And why that is so important is because if you have ever had challenges or been held hostage by a third-party tech company like Facebook, like Instagram, then you would know just how important email is, just how valuable your email list, because outside of your website, right, your email is one of the few platforms that you can own and control yourself. It's also like literally the cheapest form of marketing that you can do. And so when you look at an ROI perspective, you don't want to miss out on email. When you look at how every platform or tool that you add to your marketing will increase your other efforts and platforms statistically by a 20%, why wouldn't you utilize email, right? And so today, I want to share with you some of the best practices to get people to open that email, to get conversions to your email efforts at the end of the day. So let's dive into that. One of the biggest questions, most common questions that I get first, and
Hello, I'm Dr. Pickens.
Hi,
Looks like
Dr.
we're kind of
Pickens.
in a Zoom right
I'm
now.
gonna mute you. There we go. Okay. So one of the biggest questions that I get is, well, when should I send it? What day should I send it? Right. So obviously it depends on your segmented targeted audience and the content at which you're sending it. But if you were just looking at in general, statistically, a lot of times people will say Thursday, 9 a.m. to noon, or Tuesday, 9 a.m. to noon is the best time to send an email. The reason that is because people are at lunchtime kind of doing kind of those personal check-in items, purchases, scrolling, right? And so that 9 a.m. to noon time would be a great time to send. The next question that I get is, what do I send? Now, of course, the go-to natural one is your monthly promos, specials, potentially events. But I am a huge, huge fan of what is called a drip campaign. And this is where it gives you an opportunity to really segment your list, to personalize it for them, to make them feel special, to give them valuable information that they can relate to, that they actually care about, right? So some of those examples would be like a new patient drip campaign or email sequence. A week after a specific treatment drip email campaign. A month into your skincare regimen email campaign. 3 months post insert big treatment, right? Email campaign. Another really great one is highlighting your brand's social mission and values, because people like to do business with people that believe and stand for in the same things, right? And so they want to know that you can relate to them. They want to know that you care about the same thing. So it's okay to get a little bit personal. It's okay to share your beliefs and your values. Don't be afraid to do that, because you are going to attract more of the people that you are aligned with. And it's okay to kind of push away those patients or leads, right, that don't hold the same values at the end of the day, because life is too short. There's enough business to go around for everyone. So why not want to do business with people that you like? Why not that you want to do business with people that have and share the same values and mission as you? Okay. So one of the biggest challenges that I see people have when they are doing email marketing and they come back to me and they say, oh, I tried it, it didn't work, and it didn't do anything for me. I want to break down some of the most common challenges that I see. The first one is poor deliverability. And oftentimes they don't even know that they have poor deliverability to begin with, right? Because they're just creating this email, they're sending it out, they're not paying attention to their metrics. They didn't pay attention to best practices and even setting up your email software to begin with. And I get it, guys. It can be a little bit overwhelming to do that. But it's so important, because you can have the most beautiful email in the world with the best call to actions, with the best offers, all the things, right? But if you have poor deliverability because you didn't set yourself up correctly to begin with, then you are going nowhere with your emails. So don't skip this very, very important part, right? And if you're already into it, then check to see what your deliverability is. This is another thing where you want to be nurturing and quote unquote scrubbing your email list regularly, because it doesn't do you any good to have tens of thousands of emails if those people are inactive and not engaging with you. So scrub that email regularly, because deliverability will greatly impact your results at the end of the day. Now, here's some real basic tips around sending out emails that I want to share with you. So the first thing is that you want to choose the right builder software and or create the right template, so that it's not such this huge hassle every single month for you to go out and send your emails, right? So you want to make sure that when you're choosing this, if you're doing it yourself, that you have a software and a builder that can meet your needs, that is user-friendly, that is going to grow with you, that is really easy for you to use once you have it set up. Of course, it's some work in the beginning, but it will pay you dividends once you have it set up correctly. And it's really easy to create those templates, so you're not having to reinvent the wheel every single month with these crazy elaborate designs, right? And so it's a little bit of work on the front side, but then thereafter, you're going to be good to go. It's going to be more about the strategy and testing it, okay? So the next tip is that I love to segment your list. Like, there's a time and a place to send out an email to your entire list. For example, your monthly promos and specials all day long, send that to your entire database. But there's a time and a place to really cultivate your patient database. Do you have VIPs, men, women, age range? They've tried injectables, but they do injectables, but they've never done devices, right? They do devices, but they don't have skincare. Your EMR, if set up correctly, should be able to pull these very important metrics and data points to be able to help you segment your patient list, to be able to send them content, offers, education, authority pieces around what it is that they need to do next, what it is that they're interested in, what it is that they need at that point in their aesthetic journey. So I'm a huge fan of segmenting your list. Another little pro tip for you is having a really engaging subject line that wants people to take action, right? Like, and one of the best tips is making that subject line, of course, really enticing and sexy. And the best practice is it should be around 60 to 70 characters, right? So not too short, but not too long. You're looking at about 60 to 70 characters long on your subject line that proves to be the most effective when it comes to open rates. But at the end of the day, it's more important what it says than the number of characters. Now, I want you to think about what is going to come up in the preview box, in the preview, the pre-header of the text. This matters greatly when you think about when you're on your phone or you are scrolling through. If you're someone like me that gets many emails all day, all night long, right? That if you don't have an engaging subject line and an engaging pre-header and preview box, I'm not going to open it. I'm just going to skip it. Okay. So think about what that looks like. Even we always at Diamond Accelerator, we will send it to someone else for them to see it and approve it before we even send it to our client to see it and approve it, right? Because we want a second pair of eyes of like, what are you seeing on, we have jokes around our team because some of us have Google phones and some of us, you know, are in the real world and we have iPhones and Androids and whatnot, but it looks differently, whether you're looking on your phone or a desktop or a Mac. So you want to see what your audience is looking at. So look at those things and then you'll get some best practices and you'll be good to go. So the next thing is that as you are creating your email, think about how to make it scannable, right? Because think about you have like less than 3 seconds to really keep them engaged and wanting to give you more time to take action, okay? So to be able to do that, if you segment your email using headlines and imagery, it's really gonna help you keep it scannable at the end of the day. That's gonna help you keep them engaged longer to really want to sit with your email, to read more, to learn more, to take action with whatever the call to action would be, which would, you know, to click, to call, whatever it may be, right? And you'll also want to personalize it if and when you can. And there's really good custom codes to be able to include people's first names into emails, right, in bulk. And so when you can, when you're able to do that, you definitely want to be able to use their name, like the Beyonce song, say my name, say my name. You want to use their name in their email. It comes off so much more personal than when you're just like, hey there, hey gorgeous, hey team, hey what, you know, like use their first name whenever possible. All right, last tip that I want to share with you is have a call to action, guys. Don't go through all of this work to put out great content, beautiful content, and then not have a call to action, not make it easy for them to take the next steps, right? Is it to opt in for, you know, a lead magnet? Is it to schedule an appointment? Is it to RSVP for an event? Is it to click and purchase a product or a gift card? Whatever it may be, whatever it is that you want them to do next, tell them. Just tell them what to do and they will do it. It'll shock you. It'll shock you. It'll absolutely shock you if you tell them what you want them to do and you make it super easy for them to do it with buttons, with headings, make it pop, make it stand out. Give them a clear call to action and they will do it. Okay, couple questions that have come in. How many sales emails should I send to my list each month? Okay, so the key word that I'm seeing in this question is how many sales emails. And I like to use Gary Vee's analogy, jab, jab, right hook. If you've ever read his book or watched his content, that he's super passionate about, you know, really developing a relationship and providing massive value. That's the jab, jab, jab. And then the right hook is coming in with a sales call to action. So that's what you want to keep in mind. And I apply that to not only your email, but also your organic social media content or your blog content, right? I always am a strong believer that if you are giving a ton of value and you're showing up consistently, people are going to give you their business, right? And so you don't have to be crazy salesy in their face. Buy this product, do this treatment, this is how much it costs kind of thing. It's just going to happen for you. However, we want to make it really easy for them to find you and to take those next steps and options. So what I would say is if you're doing, let's say 4 emails a month, I would do 1 sales email and the others to provide value and education, right? Patient testimonials, showing a different treatment protocols or combination treatments, highlighting team members, highlighting services, highlighting protocols and series of different treatment plans, and just educating them, keeping it fun, right? Showing them the team training that you're doing, or a contest that you did internally, like recipes. There's so many different things that you can do to provide value that I don't think that you need to sell every single piece of content that you deliver. Be a storyteller. There's email drip campaigns that are called soap opera series that in essence, you're telling stories about your mission, your values, and then success stories that you've had with your patients around those, right? And why you do what you do and why you're passionate about it. So keep always in mind, jab, jab, right hook when it comes to ratioing sales versus providing value or entertainment and building authority. Some people also will do, 1 email a month and put together in that email not only monthly promos and specials or sales, right? But they'll also include authority and credibility and social proof, and fun and engagement, all in that 1 email newsletter. So there's lots of different ways that you can skin the cat, but you want to stay ahead of them, in front of them consistently, right? And another pro tip is that when you send out an email, 1 week later, resend it again with a different subject line to anyone that didn't open the original email. And that's going to give you a second bump of additional open rates. Another question, what is a good deliverability rate and open rate? All right, this is such a loaded question because there's so many things that are involved when it comes to email deliverability rates and open rates that impact this question, right? Because I would say is how good of a patient list are you is this a list that's been, around for a decade or 20 years that you haven't scrubbed, right? That's going to look very different than a newer patient database or someone that consistently scrubs their email patient database. So that's why I'm hesitant to give you numbers here because there's so many variables that I would ask a person about their current list and what type of content they're sending out for me to say, you should have this deliverability rate and you should have this open rate. So before I would go and tell you that, I would say first, you've got to follow best practices and make sure that you've set up and done the work on the back end to make sure you're not going to spam. And then the second thing with your open rates, right? Have you shown up consistently? Are you following best practices with having a call to action and a subject line and all of those? Because I've seen people out there or clients out there that make tens of thousands of dollars every single month and have a low open rate. And I've also seen clients out there every single month have a 40% open rate, which is crazy high, and make no money off of their email. So there's so many different things to consider and goals in mind that I don't want you to get pigeonholed on deliverability rates and open rates. I want you to do things right. I want you to get some baselines and then continue to test and grow thereafter. So really good question. Any other questions before we pop off here. Thank you for joining me live. And I hope that you found this training valuable. If you're not doing email consistently, you got to do it, folks. You got to do it. Make sure that you're collecting emails and that you're nurturing that audience, and you're following best practices, because it could save your business if you are someone that relies heavily on social media or third-party channels, and one day that goes away. You really want to make sure that you have that email, not just have it, but that it's been nurtured, right? Because all of a sudden, when you first start, marketing or speaking to people through a new channel per se, it doesn't just give you overnight instant success. You got to show up consistently. So you want to make sure that email is a part of your marketing mix for the safety and security of your business, but also it's going to make your other platforms work that much better. I promise you that. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining me here. If you loved this training, make sure that you share it with your team or another med spa that could benefit. You can catch the replay on my YouTube channel. And to get access to more free trainings that will help grow your aesthetic business, visit our link tree in our social bio, and be sure to join me live every Wednesday, same time, same place, 2:30 Central Time. Find me on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Thanks for joining me, guys. Have a great rest of your week. And if you're going to be at AmSpa, make sure that you stop by and say hi to the Diamond Girls. We're going to be, we have a booth at AmSpa. I'm speaking on Saturday. We are giving away a 1.5 carat diamond necklace. For reals, 1.5 carats. So make sure that you stop by and see the Diamond Girls at AmSpa this week.